Hello there. So we're just waiting for the formal paperwork from Brussels, and then Boris Johnson will be required by the Benn Surrender Act to immediately accept the offer and immediately amend the Withdrawal Act 2018 via a statutory instrument to change the Brexit Day date to January the 31st, 2020. This morning, the EU Council President, Donald Tusk, tweeted out on behalf of the EU 27 member states on the other side of the Brexit negotiations that the EU 27 has agreed that it will accept the UK's request for a Brexit flextension until the 31st of January 2020. The decision is expected to be formalised through a written procedure. And unless the Prime Minister has a trick up his sleeve, he will be forced to immediately accept the offer and change the exit day date in the Withdrawal Act 2018. And should he have a rabbit to pull out of the Brexit hat, the courts will soon find a way around it to force the UK to remain for another 3 months. But it's interesting that the EU Council President has made this decision public before the vote due to take place in the House of Commons this afternoon on having an early general election. I thought that any decision would come much later on today, maybe even tomorrow. And it's also interesting to note that Tusk has pushed this out via social media and not through the official press release channel. I checked the EU Council press page just before I made this video, and all I can find is an inaccessible link to a document posted yesterday, and I see no sign of any such decision on the EU official journal. And the fact that it is not live yet may mean that either there is still some background EU 27 wrangling going on, or maybe Boris Johnson hasn't immediately agreed to the extension. After all, the document title is European Council Decision Taken in Agreement with the United Kingdom Extending the Period under Article 50. Anyway, what this has done is removed any urgency for Parliament to make any decision in the immediate future. Suddenly, for the ardent Remainer MPs in the Commons, having a general election or considering the Boris Johnson Withdrawal Agreement treaty just became irrelevant, as they now have added time to gear up to scheme for another Article 50 extension to hold a second EU referendum next year. And that will of course include getting on the Brussels Express to go and hold talks with Eurocrats to find out what they need to do for the next phase of Brextensions. Now, as you know, the government is having a vote at about 6:30 p.m. tonight, where it hopes that MPs will vote for an early general election, and that would be held on Thursday the 12th of December. But it looks like they have no chance of getting the 434 MPs needed to vote for it. But the Lib Dems and the SNP are proposing that a general election be held 3 days earlier, on Monday the 9th of December. Now, it has been said that this is about getting out the student vote still at university in left-backing areas, but there is more to it than that. To hold a general election under the government plan on the 12th of December, Parliament would have to be dissolved 25 working days earlier on the 7th of November. That would be the day after the extra period until the 6th of November that would be given to Parliament to agree to the Boris Treaty. Now, under the Fixed Term Parliament Act, the date on which the election is held, and therefore the date on which Parliament is dissolved, is under the Prime Minister's control. And if he saw a strong chance of his deal getting through, then it is conceivable that dates could be adjusted to suit. But the SNP and the Lib Dems want to remain in the EU, so they want to kill off any chance of that deal going through. And holding the election on Monday the 9th of December would ensure the deal wouldn't go through, as Parliament would have to be dissolved next Monday the 4th of November to achieve it. And that would cut short any debate over the Boris Treaty and probably make it a pointless exercise. Actually, Parliament would only have time for the rest of this week to pass the Act required for that election. And further, as the Institute for Government explains, when Parliament is dissolved, all unfinished parliamentary business falls, including any bills that have not received royal assent. Bills cannot be carried over from one parliament to another, reflecting the convention that no parliament can bind its successor. The Withdrawal Agreement Bill would therefore be scrapped and would have to be started all over again. So there are pluses for the more Spartan Brexiteers to consider of holding the election on the 9th of December. But there are also drawbacks that I've talked about before. It could end up with 16 and 17-year-olds as well as EU nationals voting in it. Now, I've got to say that holding an election on any other day than the traditional Thursday would be highly unusual. But if held under current election rules, with no amendments to increase the size of the electorate over and above those over 18s that are traditionally allowed to vote, it would, in my view, be a good option for the Brexiteers to consider. Anyway, what do you think? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. And thank you very much for watching.